What's up, y'all? It's your girl Taylor Wayla here, and I'm back in the studio. We here with another special episode of Let's Be Real. I'm here with my guest,
Elijah Cozart, a.k.a. Mr. Stay Cozy, a.k.a. the ugly sex symbol.
And you know, Cozy, we didn't even put out your handles in the last segment, so go ahead, tell them where they can find you, where they can stream your music at.
Find me on Instagram and Twitter at Elijah Cozart. Find me on SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify at Elijah Cozart, ElijahCozart.
Cozart, okay. All right. So, Cozy, that's just what I call you now.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and get into your project, Stay Cozy, the EP, right? So, what inspired you to make this project?
The very first thing that hinted at this project was having a few conversations with a few of my mentors once I first got to school, and all of their advice to me, one, either in being a creative or being, a businessman, was be a genuine person, be approachable, be genuine with everyone you come across, and it just had me take some time to realize who I was, who is the person I wanted to present. And that took a lot of soul searching and, just really figuring out who I am at the smallest level. Okay, so who did you figure out that you are? I figured out that, one, I wasn't the people person that I wanted to be. And not to say there's anything wrong with that, but to do what I want to do, I got to get out of that bubble of, I ain't really rocking with nobody. I'm going to try to do everything on my own. Right. Which is probably a businessman or a creative's biggest kryptonite is that pride. So I had to get out of that. I figured out that I was very shy. Still am kind of shy. That's pretty much the root of everything that became to. Okay, so as you were making this project, did you have any insecurity as you was making it, maybe I shouldn't put this song in, or maybe I should change this bar? I don't think that my delivery was as good as it could be. Lyric wise, I would say my most vulnerable songs were Again, Foolish, and Everything Good. And with those songs, I didn't want to change anything because I feel like me saying those things that I said on those records was one, something people needed to hear, because I feel like the biggest myth is that we're all in this alone. That you're the only person dealing with what you're dealing with, and being able to speak out on those, certain topics in that vulnerable state, I feel made the project what it was. And as far as delivery, I think the only song I'd probably take another stab at and making it a better song is probably See You. I like it for what it is, but I don't think it was project ready. But you feel like you rushed it? I did. So when it comes to creatives rushing, right, do you think it's more so of pressure of meeting a deadline, or is it just I just need to go ahead and just get it done because I just want to be over it? I feel like deadlines are, I'm not going to say, what's the word I'm going to say? They're just inconvenient. I feel like it adds an unnecessary pressure. It's like when you title something before you have the finished product, because you don't know what it's going to sound like. For me, my biggest pressure was, one, performing at different things on campus. And everybody's like, okay, cool. So when's the project coming? And I was like, It's because I'm obviously, that's what you're working towards, to put out a body of work. I was like, and in hindsight, I'm like, man, I wish I had this project done before I jumped out and started doing all of that. Right. But I didn't want to waste no time. But I think that was the biggest thing. Outside influences. If you got to have something ready that you're ready to present, and can do it with the best feelings, okay, yeah, this is it. I'm happy with what I'm creating. Right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The outside influence was my biggest thing. Okay, so when it comes to the cover art, because the cover art is very simple, what were you trying to get across for people who don't know anything about you and just now seeing your project?
when they look at this, what did you want them to get?
Well, the initial concept was the guy that's sitting on the cover. Mm-hmm. He was initially going to be in a therapist chair. You know, what you see on TV where the guy's like, well, doc, you know what I'm saying, 2 days ago, you know what I'm saying, just chilling like that. Mm-hmm. On the heart that you see as well. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I don't want people to think I'm crazy.
Well.
You're right. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Right.
But I didn't want that to throw off any of the people. Because people listen with their eyes. If they don't like it, they're like, skip it.
Right.
But I did want it to be a vulnerable state. When a guy's sitting down, like say just in a party environment and somebody, a ruckus is about to break out. If you're sitting down, you're pretty vulnerable. Mm-hmm. You can't move. You can't react how you want to. So him sitting down was a state of vulnerability, which I wanted to come across in the project. And the black heart, just signifying the burdens that we carry, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much why I wanted to go with that.
Okay. Well, I like it. I think that it ties in. I get the vulnerability aspect as well. Now that you say that, I was never thinking about it like that. But as far as the track list goes, right, how did you come up with putting the songs in order? Like, what was your thought process?
My thought process when placing these songs in order was really off of the energy.
Right. And
how it flowed. Maybe message-wise, and, you know, this is just me critiquing myself. I probably could have gone back in and placed them in different orders and it would have sounded, you know what I'm saying, like a completely different project. Mm-hmm. But the energy, I wanted it to grow into something.
Right. Okay. So what's your favorite song on the project? If you have one, do you have like a couple?
I say my favorite song, if I have to choose just one, it would be Foolish.
I knew you was going to say that one. How did I know? Because I know. I just know. And that one was produced by Boss Man.
Yeah, shout out to
Boss Man.
Boss Man, Jay, all of those people.
Yeah, he's very talented. So, what is it like working in the studio with him when y'all was coming up? Were you in the studio as he was making the beat? Or okay, so what was that like?
Okay, so funny story. This song was written probably 2 months before the beat was made. Mm-hmm. It was just one of those songs where it was a message that I had before I knew what it was gonna sound like. I came with the lyrics and I was like, "Hey, Boss Man, I need something to fit this," and I just started singing it for him. And he was like, "Okay, cool." And mind you, I was in the studio recording with some other people, so I couldn't just dive into what I wanted to work on boom boom. So it took a couple of trips, a couple of follow-ups, and honestly, it still didn't come out how I pictured it, but I'm glad it came out the way it did. Mm-hmm. I was going for a simplistic, a guitar, some strings, some keys, and let it be that. But I had to, him being a producer, he was like, "All right, let's run it like this," and I was like, "You know what? You haven't shown me any failures thus far."
Right.
Because he's a whiz when he does what he does. So I was open and willing to create a project together because it's also his baby that he's putting out, his beats. Mm-hmm. So I was like, let's find that middle ground and run with it. Okay, so you say you wrote the song itself 2 months prior to the beat actually being made. So what, if you feel comfortable talking about it, what happened to you that made you want to write this song? Because it's a beautiful song. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again, I was in a period of reflection. Mm-hmm. And I just started to think about not one particular encounter, not one particular relationship, but, just the aspects of each of my encounters that left me where I was. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, seeing what role I played in those encounters.
Right.
And the song is, called Foolish because I personally played the fool. I knew what was going on. Exactly. I peeped what was going on, but me being naive, being young, and so willing to be, the Captain Save, what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah.
So, other songs on the project, I love Foolish, Situationships, everything. I love them all, but those are my favorite three. So when it comes to situationships, I know that was one of your other big songs that you had. Tell me about that. How did that come about?
Okay. That song, it was in a place of genuine infatuation. Again, no particular instance, but the same downfalls or whatever. It's really just the flip side of that. What made me so willing to play the fool. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where I found, I don't want to say love, but strong like. Mm-hmm. Where I found strong light, and that's how that came about. And shout out to my guy Reed, who slid in with the smooth feature of the year.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say shout out to the female, the muse.
Shout out to them too.
Okay, so what is it like collaborating with other artists such as Reed? Like, how do y'all go about the verses and who says what?
I encourage everybody that I work with to find them in any song, because that's how I'm going to approach anything that's sent to me. I want to find my place in it. I'm really big on artists keeping their voice.
Right.
And I play him the song. Well, I played the beat and I rap my verse for him because we, you know what I'm saying, we would just get into moments where we just play music and freestyle, this, then the third. But I had something prepared, so I was like, hey, check this out. Let me know what you think. And after me showing it to him, he was like, yeah, so send me that beat.
Right.
And I was like, okay, cool. And prior to working on this track, we did some other songs that were more so in the cozy lane, you know what I'm saying? It was more trap than I'm accustomed to, but like I said, I'm jumping on anything. And I knew what his pen could do, but I was interested to see how vulnerable he was willing to get on a track like Situationships too. And he held his own, to say the least.
Yep. And if y'all haven't heard any of these songs, or if you want to listen to Cozy's album, don't forget to go look him up on SoundCloud, Elijah Cozart. Are you going to put your music on other streaming services, or do you already have it on other streaming services?
Yes, this project is on Apple Music and Spotify. And I do plan to place my music on multiple platforms, you know, now we're up and rolling and doing things the right way.
Right. So have you ever thought about YouTube?
What's crazy is I'm still in the mindset that YouTube is solely for visuals.
No.
Exactly. And I got to get out of that. And it's something, it's like I clearly see that it's not. But I'm thinking that's me growing still. And
I'm thinking, like, if you wanted to put situationships, I know we've already talked about it off air, but if you did want to put that on there, the visual that you had on Instagram would be perfect. And y'all, for real, y'all really need to get at my man's. He's very, very creative. Like, the visual alone for that song made me fall in love with it. That alone. And I know you get that from a lot of people.
I hear that so much. And I'm mad at myself because I don't have more to go with other songs. But again, that's a part of the learning process. Now I know, okay, what song I want to have a visual to that I want people to be drawn into and fall in love like they did with that song. And shout out to Lil Jockey, who did the visual for me.
Well, thank you, Lil Jockey. I appreciate you as well because it changed my life. It was very, very cute. Okay, Cozy. So after the project came out, right? After you released it, how do you feel after that? Like, where is Cozy or Elijah Cozart now with the momentum, like your fan base? How is that all going?
It's going pretty well. I received a good amount of love from it. But now I'm in a place where I feel like that was a test trial. So like, okay, now I see what I can do when I throw in 90% effort, 80% effort. I want to go that whole 100%.
That was only
and keep it rolling.
80-90%?
Sadly.
What?
Because, like I said, I feel like it was rushed. I still love it. Don't get me wrong.
I love it too.
I love it like my child. But just knowing that, you know what I'm saying, I can present a little bit more, a little bit better, and far more consistent. I'm going to take my time in crafting the next few things that I'm working on so I don't let anyone down.
That first child is always rushed, though. You're never ready for it. But y'all, we're about to take a real quick break. We're gonna be back in 15 minutes, and y'all can talk to Cozy if you would like. And we're gonna get a little freestyle from, you know what I'm saying? They play a little bit of tunes. So it's your girls Taylor Wayla and
Elijah Cozart
signing off.